Hey, this is Kayla Thornton from the Golden State Valkyries, and you're watching Valkyries Say Less.
Valkyries.
This is Raina.
And Vanessa.
And this is Valkyries Say Less.
And by that, we really mean we're going to say so much.
More. So much. We always say so much. We named this Say Less because we have a problem.
We have a big problem, as was told to us by the people that we write to, because now we write for 2 publications.
Yes.
Not
Guest
just one.
And
MerciSF.
Oh my goodness, I'm doing
so many things at the
so
same
many
time.
things at the same time.
Classic mom, artist, entrepreneur. Got to turn our phones down while we do this. So this is a special episode.
Yes.
It's
a bonus.
It's called a pop-up.
Oh, you made that up.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
A bonus
A pop-up
episode.
podcast.
Yep. And it is about, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about how we are including our players in the conversation a little more. Being inclusive, as they say.
Goodness. I mean, last year I felt like we definitely were building the ship.
Yes.
As we were, how do you say, driving the ship? Steering the ship.
Yes.
And this year there was so much more intentionality in everything that we're doing.
I know.
It's been awesome.
It's been great, yeah. So I say we're riding the snowball. The snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and Vanessa and I are like running on top like 2 little hamsters.
Absolutely.
And it's been amazing.
It's been amazing.
We could also say like riding a wave.
And last year we like alluded to the like joy or like the peak of success being reached by us like actually connecting with players.
Yeah.
And it happened.
I know.
It happened
and we couldn't predict how.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe we could have, but we didn't see it coming. Everybody would ask, "Oh, is your goal to like interview players one-on-one?" And last year we were just like, we're just feeling this out, like what it is. We're having fun, and then this year it just sort of happened.
I know.
You womanifested it. Can we talk about that?
I mean, I really do feel like womanifesting is definitely the thing that's happening with this miracle-making journey.
I'm shaking my head at myself because I do not believe in magic and woo-woo, but you are convincing me little by little. So
I know I am, and every time you say that, there's a part of me that just feels, I know.
Raina's in denial. Okay, so I was sitting there waiting for you at the dinner in Chase Center.
Yes.
And you walked in.
The media dinner, the media workroom.
The media workroom, professional. And you walked in a little bit later than me. I had already started my dinner, and you said, I took a nap in the car coming over, and I was having some trouble meditating. And I guess you can describe what was in your brain better than me.
I had to squeeze, being a mom in between being a teacher and being a sports storyteller. It's what I like to call ourselves now. Instead of just like podcasting, I'm like, no, we're sports storytelling. We're not full on like journalists.
So you like meditate to switch channels.
Yes, well, I was also like so tired. It's like the end of the year. We have so much going on. I like stopped to see my kid in a like theater performance, and I was like, okay, instead of biking to the Chase Center from like Upper Haight, I'm just going to treat myself to a lift, and that'll allow me time to close my eyes, meditate, and like get centered for when we arrive, and then have to be fully present in everything that we're doing in at the Chase Center, which is like also like so exciting. But we're always like thinking like on our feet and like, oh, what's going to be the angle? Who are we going to interview? So it's not like at all just relaxing. So I need to be at my best. And of course, meditation for me is, always
Your
a thing that takes me from being the fried, dried out sponge to being like, woo, like juicy and I can flow. So I tried to meditate in the lift on the way there. I knew I had exactly the right amount of time, and I was having a hard time kind of just dropping in. Because I had this like recurring, very present thought that kept coming up. And like when you're meditating, you're kind of just like not supposed to concentrate on things. But Janelle Salaün in a press conference was nonstop just taking over my thought process to the point where I was like, okay, well, it's going to happen. And so I might as well be ready. And so I was preparing myself in the meditation. And I walk in.
Literally envisioning yourself 2 hours later.
Yes. And I walk in and tell you.
Right. So that part is like, I can handle that. That's not like very magical. The magical part with me is that we didn't have access to one-on-one interviews. We couldn't request Janelle. Yep. And the way our second-tier pass works is that you have to be at the press conference, and you get what you get, and you don't get upset. Yeah. And in order to get Janelle Salaün, 1, she had to play an amazing game, which she did. And 2, they have to choose her as a so-called they call it a key player.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily mean the top scorer. In that game, there were multiple people with double
Yeah.
digits. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, so one, you maybe energized her game,
Ooh.
visionary.
Ooh.
And then 2, she ends up in the press conference.
I know.
And then 3, you grow courage
Yes.
and
Yes.
suddenly
Yes.
raise your hand for the microphone,
Yes.
which was just like, I was shaking on your behalf.
Yes.
It's like,
I
is
mean,
this happening?
well, you know, all of this is so new, so it's like hats off and, you know, deep admiration for the people who've been doing this work for a long time and who are therefore so also comfortable in their role.
Yes.
We have been observers because we've been taking note of the process, and then suddenly it was just one of those things where I was like, I'll never be more prepared than this moment.
Yeah.
And we have to capitalize on it because here's the thing. Janelle speaks, you know, speaks limited English. She speaks very good English, okay? Not like limited like she can speak, but we have watched so many interviews with her in French where she is just incredibly expressive, and when she is asked a question in English, she is able to provide, you know, just shorter, simpler responses. And it is to the benefit of the fans, and it is also to her benefit. I'm like, this is becoming more clear to me that like the general league is becoming more and more international. And with that, it's like we have to create space for our international players to be able to express themselves. Because if not, it's like not equal footing in terms of who gets to talk about the game.
Right.
And they all like know the game, and they all have things to say about the game.
Right.
But they can't all say it in the same way in
The
English.
power language. Yeah. So I also think I would add that it's good for the players. What was really endearing to me was to see in both, that's a spoiler, but in both times that Vanessa asked a question, the teammates were just like, one, really delighted that she was going off and saying her piece of her,
she has a lot to
speaking
say.
her mind.
Yes.
And 2, like a sense of pride. Like KT in the second interview was just looking at her and like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm proud of you as like your like sister.
So we have now had 2 press conferences with Janelle.
Yes.
The first one, so that night she walked in and it was with Veronica Burton. And then last night was with KT. And in between, we also were able to parlay that first press conference, which had a viral moment with so many fans. Thank you for taking the time to also say something about it. But so many people saying, thank you so much. We love hearing Janelle express herself. We love watching her body language. And anyways, we were able to parlay that into a one-on-one interview with her last weekend at a practice session. I know, we really were, but we're getting better at this. Okay, so what else could we say about this experience in terms of, you know, what did she say, her body language, and why this is so important? What comes to mind?
First, as teachers, like we're trained to respect our students by like learning their names. Like it's a basic thing that maybe other adults take for granted.
Yeah.
That asking a student over and over to pronounce their own name
correctly,
or to
so that we
remind them who they are, or remind us who they are.
Yeah.
Or like if you mix them up, that's extremely problematic. If you mix them up with another kid, especially as white teachers, it's if you don't get that, this isn't the podcast for you.
And we teach a diverse group of students, and it's like we want them to feel valued, and we want to be able to pronounce their names correctly. So thank you for bringing this up.
And then 2, because one, the first thing we learned was that people are saying Janelle Salaün.
Yeah.
I said it wrong. Janelle Salaün.
Yeah. Very good. Oh, Raina. Elle parle français, okay? Yes.
Okay, so that was one thing. Yeah. And then 2, in order to connect with people, we need to speak their language. So all our players are connecting over the language of basketball. They all speak basketball, but in order to get to know people, you need to like embrace their music, embrace their food, embrace their language to really get to, you know, look them in the eyes and understand where they're coming from.
Absolutely. Create the bond. As Coach Madalena Casse talks about a lot.
Yeah. And third, as teachers, it's just so fun when you like kind of have an inkling that something could work and you like create a little opportunity and then someone pounces on it. Like a student is just like, oh, this is just what I needed to come out of my shell a little bit. And that's what I saw with Janelle the first time. And I think that's what other people appreciated was it was just like so sweet to see her. And VB, Veronica Burton, was next to her sort of like nodding her head, being like, go, girl, go. and maybe not understanding everything. We should ask Veronica Burton if she's studying French.
I mean, during both press conference moments, so when Janelle was with someone else, and I think she does like being, sidekicked side by side with somebody else. It's like they broke the theater plane, the fourth wall, because they came in like with game face on, like ready to talk seriously. Even after they won, and they completely started like laughing. And both times Janelle was also like, I'm sorry, désolé, like to lose composure and like have this like hilarious moment with my teammate. And I do think like what you were saying, both of them don't get to see her shine like that or take center stage, and I think they were like in admiration, and also it is funny. It just it's like you're playing a different role suddenly,
right? So one thing we learned, we'll put the interview in French.
We're going to connect it,
And then if you could just summarize what the one-on-one was. Because I think that's what a lot of people saw the one that you translated. About the difference between Friday, loss to the Fever, and then the win.
That was the first one.
That was the first one. And but then you had a sort of an extended conversation with her one-on-one after the shoot-around. So can you just tell us what was happening?
Absolutely. Okay, so that was like 6 minutes, and it felt like 30 seconds, and it felt like an hour. It was a wild experience. And we could tell that she doesn't know us, very well, and we've seen her in interviews with people that she knows well. And so she was a little bit, I think, reserved or, curious, guard up a tiny bit in terms of we're building this rapport with her. We started by asking how to pronounce her name correctly. And so it is Salaün. So it's like in the back, Salaün. It's not Salaün. So, which, it doesn't look like that, the way that it's spelled necessarily. And so I think it is really important that we pronounce it and just say it repeatedly. So we started with that. And then we asked her to talk about her connection to the Bay Area and to the French community and French fans. And she immediately was just saying how important and wonderful it's been to hear, her name, to hear the chants, to see the posters written and stuff, and how she's far away, and that has made her feel very supported. So
she mentioned Carla and Leite from last year, and having that sort of first season together with Bahala. I caught that.
She mentioned that, and then of course because we saw Carla and her last night, and that
another
was really,
spoiler.
I know we can't help it. We're always like all over the place.
Okay, one thing at a time.
Okay.
So that interview, I also learned that she considers herself a little bit introverted, even in French, which explains why the English-speaking media might feel that she's, I think someone in the newsroom called it short or cold, but that she's
reserved.
Also reserved,
She's not also seeking the spotlight in terms of like, I'm going to take the microphone, but also I think it is a comfort thing too. So I think the more comfortable she becomes with being asked questions in the W, whether they're in English or French, like I think that's a piece that's going to grow.
Right. And the more she knows that there's people here that speak her language literally and love her.
Yes.
Like our friend calls Janelle her daughter. I think the more that happens, the more she feels like this isn't just a job, and she's not just like appreciated for her skills on the court, but for who she is as a person.
Absolutely.
Everything she brings.
I know. One of the fun touch points from that conversation was also asking her what she misses from France or what she could have like right away, and that was very easy for her to answer. Food.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Food. Yeah, the quality of the food. Which so we have prepared. It hasn't been published yet, but an article for MerciSF, which is about this interview. It's going to also link to the interview, and this is something that the French community talks about all the time. In terms of there's a real sense of returning home, yearly if possible or more, and that is in part a deep connection to the food and to the quality of food, the quality of the fruits, the vegetables, the yogurt, the bread, just the meat, everything. The big thing that is constantly being discussed is like the taste of a tomato is richer from a market in France, from Le Marché, than you would find at a regular supermarket here.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, we know that there's variety because we live here and depending on where you shop. But like you think of a WNBA player who is in player housing and who, doesn't know and who's only here for a temporary amount of time. And so they really, there's a lot for them that we can teach them about where to shop or restaurants and stuff in terms of finding quality foods. But then I also find it to just be very endearing that we go back to these sensorial things. Like, what do you miss? Food.
Very human, yeah.
Very human.
And then you put on your, what do you call yourself? The city counselor?
The city counselor.
And communicated that to the communications director.
Yes.
And she was like, send me a list of French,
yes.
a French field
so
trip
we
or
are
French restaurants.
Yes. So we are
So
currently going to curate a very specific list for Janelle. Yeah. So of restaurants and places that we recommend, and not too long because, we don't want to be overwhelming. We'll do it a little bit at a time. But I think that would be a great thing. And so we are asking, dear listeners, we're asking listeners and readers to send us some recommendations and places that we can share. And then we'll go through them and we'll make a little list.
Yeah. You'll have to put subtitles on this one to invite in the French speakers.
Yeah.
Where their secret hideouts are for
Absolutely.
fresh yogurt and fresh produce.
I know. And like, all the things also, it's like affordable,
Yeah.
Because that's a thing. Of course, you can get different products and stuff, but we want to make sure that we're being mindful of that too.
Well, thank goodness for the CBA because now they're getting a real salary and can afford the organics. Yes.
Which also is connected to how we're going to have more and more international players. That's been an article recently.
Right. That we're inviting more in.
Yeah.
I have my Ceci Zandalicini uniform on. She speaks Italian. She speaks English as well.
We are going to need an Italian to come on to the pod.
To invite the Italian fans in.
I know.
And then I've been studying.
Yes. I know. I posted this today in a comment. I couldn't help myself. I thought it was so great. Okay, tell us what are you studying? What are you studying right now?
I went down the rabbit hole. A lot of people have been confused about how to say the baby-faced assassin's name.
God, I love
and
that.
So we have access to a little clip of her saying her own name, like they do at my school for students to do.
We should post those.
Yeah, we'll put it in here. Do 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 beep boop beep boop.
Juste,
Yotite.
Yotite. Yotite. Yotite. Juste, Yotite.
All right, there it is.
Okay.
And so if you listen to it, and I've had my kids listen to it, I've had my kids' friends listen to it, because their minds are a little bit more open and less brainwashed with English.
Yeah.
Some people are saying juste jutita, like a cheetah at the end, and some people are saying jutite, like a teat in the middle.
Okay.
So I was just like, I'm gonna listen to one.
Oh my God. Okay.
Juste speaking in Lithuanian.
Yes.
Herself.
Yes.
And then I'm going to do a little tutorial deep dive into what Lithuanian sounds like in general to like know where.
God. Are you on Duolingo?
I am, yeah. But my main teacher is a YouTube person. We'll put him in a.
Okay, awesome. What have you
and
learned?
he's English. I'm learning that it's interesting, the parallels between Spanish and Lithuanian and English. That's how you learn language. You're just building on what you already know. And so I'm building like new little understandings of like there's a lot of Philly words in there, like yeah. And
okay.
Like that kind of like throaty, almost nasally sound. And so I've probably listened to her say her name 10,000 one time. But I would say that the closest thing to think of, and another teacher trick, is to think of something it sounds like I said, cheetah. I think of you stay and the city. Yeah. Right? So you stay, which is kind of like a J, I'm interpreting, almost like a Frenchie.
Okay.
And you stay. And then jutite is almost like a city. Like I'm picturing her saying it in San Francisco. I'm manifesting that she stay here.
In my head. Okay.
Jutite. And then the middle syllable is what her dad was like, you guys are hopeless.
Okay.
He just sent a voice recording of himself saying it as well.
Really?
Yes. And she had a podcaster, we'll put the link there, who she was interviewing in English, tried to say it, and she also was sort of SMH. Just like, you guys are trying, I appreciate it, but it's different. It's a different sound than we're programmed. It's kind of like in Mandarin, how there's tones that English speakers can't hear unless we hear it as babies.
We are putting a call out then also for a Lithuanian.
Yeah, Lithuanian,
because
Italian.
we need to.
Connect with
Can
the
we have a
players on their
Lithuanian
home field.
intern or colleague
Yeah.
go with us so that way we can organize a one-on-one interview with Baby Assassin?
I like that you say home language.
Instead of
Some people say first language because you just never know what the first
Totally.
one is. But
totally.
yeah, home language. Is
Well, okay,
like
so
a
this is
comfort
making
zone.
me think last year we decided to use our platform, which wasn't, huge last year, but it was the tiny snowball that was starting to amplify the pay the players. And so once that clicked in our brains, we were just like, of course, that's the thing that we are always going to say because it's very important. And, here we are standing up for people so that way we can get something we can get something done. And then this year I'm like, oh, we need to think of our little slogan for home language interviews. I mean, that's boring, but we have to think of something.
A goal. Students will be able to do.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of every class we do that.
And
So
then we amplify that
life,
message.
yeah,
So
a
that
little
way
goal for
throughout the
season two.
the W, it's also this idea that you need to be seeking out home language specialists to join the conversation so that the players can talk.
And do what Coach Natalie Nakase has been saying in her last few interviews, build the bond. I think that's a good slogan. Build the bond.
Yeah.
Build the bond. The more they can connect, the stronger the team they are.
Totally. Okay, so the last thing that we have to talk about is what happened last night.
Congratulations. So,
Congratulations to you and me.
MerciSF gave a little email and a nudge to get us connected to Carla Leite. If you don't know who she is, she played with us last year, number 0. She was not protected in the expansion draft when the new teams got to choose from basically all the 6 women and beyond. And so she wasn't protected and she got scooped up by the Fire, Portland Fire. I'm super happy for her. I love Portland Fire. They're doing amazing. The coach is really cool. And it was lovely to have her back. We just had Mo Billings back and she got a standing ovation. Carla Leite was, people were there with signs in French. And so she got a really, really warm welcome. And then you gave her a warm welcome.
A one-on-one.
One-on-one. And Wyatt from the Fire, the communications manager in that situation, he was such a pleasure to meet, and he let us know that she was excited to finally have a break from English. Her English is phenomenal.
It
this
really
year.
has
She's
improved
been
a lot from last year.
doing more than Duolingo.
Oh yeah.
Someone said she's watching Friends.
Yes, that's how she's learning. I mean, it was cool because we were able to participate in the media scrum, a word that was not in our lexicon, but when all the journalists come together in a group and get to fire off one question after the other, and so in English, and so we were there and we didn't ask anything, but we were able to participate, and then everybody left and we had an exclusive one-on-one with her in French. And
then Jeannie took a picture of us.
Yes,
What is
Janie Macaulay of the Associated Press, sports writer.
That was really sweet of
took
her.
a really awesome picture that we posted, and so that was cool to be able to have that perspective. But that interview was awesome because that was even shorter than the one with Janelle, and yet we also got a lot out of it where we asked her to talk about her blossoming career right now, because in the last year she is on the Fire, where she's doing awesome. She's on fire on the Fire. She played for Spain. She was on the cover of a magazine where she talked a lot about her confidence and who she was, and she looked incredible on that magazine cover for I Can Play. And so we were just can you talk to us about where you are right now and your confidence and everything? So we will post the...
Is Baby Bird a new nickname for her by the Fire, or is that a...
Well, it's because she was recently just with Sue Bird, and when they were side by side, they looked so much alike.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
And
yeah,
so,
she's coming into
Baby
her
Bird.
style. I want to interview her again someday about her and Janelle. They're
didn't
both
ask- I know.
just growing into
we didn't
who
ask them
they
about
are
style.
and expressing themselves not only through basketball, English,
Yeah.
their language, but also what they're wearing. It's just really cool. Their skincare is their game is
They're just
on point.
incredible. It's we're people who are looking at these, they're in their early 20s, and we're with deep admiration for their level of expertise and knowledge on and off the court, and for watching them become just more heightened versions of themselves as they age in front of our eyes. It's it's beautiful.
Aw, the
I know.
matriarchy's proud.
We are very proud. So, okay, in that interview it was cool because we also, had her, she expressed how supported she feels by the French community and the French fans, and how that's very special. And so I would say continue to make, the posters like specifically for her to say her name and stuff. And Allez les Violettes, it's our chant that we keep trying to like get going.
Yeah.
Of course, she's not on the Violettes anymore, but
I know.
Still. Anyways.
Yeah. Once a violet, always a violet.
Always a violet.
Always bleed in violet.
And then we
we'll
asked...
We'll put that on there.
Yeah.
A little bit of that on...
Totally.
Or a link at least.
Yeah, we'll put a link. We'll put a link because it's in French, and so I'm like,
so you
audio-wise, we're just
going
to link to the audio so people who
understand. You want to fake Carla Leite's voice, and I'll be Janelle.
Don't put it past us. But we'll link to the audio so you can listen in French, and then to the video, we'll put the subtitles.
Okay. They do that in Democracy Now. It's kind of part of journalism. Yeah. In Spanish, they like give you a little tidbit of the real voice and then the person.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So it's not totally silly. It just feels like confronting a little bit.
No,
like
we'll just see how much time we have.
Like you're going to bring your MVP high school trophy to do that?
I know.
Play the part?
I can't believe I wanted to bring that to show Janelle to be like, so we were like, for both of them, we're local, we're San Francisco teachers and moms. And then I was to both of them like, my kids go to the French school, like emphasizing, because I'm like, do they know? Like, there are so many different French schools in the Bay Area. Like, the French community is large. We have local press. So just so that they understand, like, they are really being watched and supported. Yes.
We have to reach out to the Italian consulate.
I know, we do. Yeah, it's all the things that are on our to-do list. But okay, the other thing I was going to say just about that conversation that was really cool was that we also asked her to talk to, people who are looking up to her, who want to play like her. Yeah. And as well as like fans. And so she talked about both of those things. And in a nutshell, I'm like, just keep doing it. Keep going, keep doing it. And it's that action, we're in the action of, if you want to pursue a basketball career, then you go hard and go practice. And if you want to be a fan, then, you just continue to express yourself.
Support it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are wrapping it up.
Yes.
This was just a mini episode, and here we are again.
It's like we're John Oliver with a bonus episode. We're so cute. Okay, well, let's sign off. There's no special song today.
No special song today. All we're going to say is we are doing a watch party at Ricky's on June 4th to watch the away game, Valkyries versus Lynx. So we have a sponsor, Baylord, thank you so much, a wealth management company in San Francisco who is sponsoring many, many t-shirts that have our logo. It also says very cool, everyone watches the Velks. And then, their logo, as well as a bar tab.
Yeah. So we'll be working with them a little more. We did like the background check, and they're very much in line with our values. Women-owned.
48% of the company's VPs and above are women. And so that is an important fact.
And majority worker-owned.
Yeah.
So
yes.
For me, the Venn diagram is like cool there.
Yes. So anyways, thumbs up to Baylord, and we'll be teaching everybody about how to manage their money more.
We're going to do a another bonus episode of financial management. Don't get a credit card in college.
We love bonus episodes. All right, that's it. We got to say less. Valkyries.
This is Raina.
And Vanessa.
And this is Valkyries Say Less. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.